Alright, here's your typical Honda, GX. Same thing for Predator. Motor, it's been sitting out for about 2 years. Gas left in it. To come find the problem, fuel is left on. If you open up the gas tank, gas smells really bad. It's just a little bit left. The tank is all rusted. You really can't see in there. What you're going to want to do is, first thing you want to do is you want to flush that tank off. You're going to take a 10 millimeter. And you're going to take this bolt here that takes the gas tank off, and those two bolts under here. You're going to take that gas tank out, flush it out, blow it out, and that's what we're going to do. And then once you do that, you want to drop the bowl of the carburetor and drop the bowl of the fuel filter. Again, they're both 10 millimeter. That's your fuel filter. That's the bowl. You're going to want to drop that, clean them out, and take the jets out. So that's what we'll be doing now. Get this thing running. Now, in our case, most of the time you can just pull it and the fuel line pulls off, or you get in there with a needle nose. But in my case, this fuel line, the focus, is cracked and dry rotted, so that'll have to be pulled through and replaced as well. Yeah. It comes in through here. And comes out down there, which you're just going to snake it through where the original one was. Now we're going to take this gas tank and go dump out what's in there. Got a pan, and you can see the stuff is nasty in there. So what we're going to do is just going to dump it out, and you're going to see some nasty stuff come out. Oh, it's water-bound. Yeah, that carburetor might be done. Let's see if we can maybe save it, but I don't know about that carburetor. I'm going to rinse this out. I'm going to put some fresh gas in there, wash it around. Tank's pretty corroded up in there. I can't see on the camera, but it's pretty bad. We'll see what we can do. Alright, so once you've dumped it out, I like to put a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil in it, just to rinse out the rust, especially when there's water in there, once you got it all dried out and everything. If it's really bad, you want to pull the screen out. Clean the screen, that just unscrews. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. Next thing you want to do is you're going to want to open up the carburetor, which we'll do. Take our 10 millimeter wrench, going to take that first bolt off right there, and we're going to spray everything out and maybe pull the jets out, depending on how it looks. Alright, so bolt's off. Not as bad as some of them I've seen. Fuel filter thing, there was some moisture in there. I'm not seeing a fuel filter in there. I'm guessing at some point it was clogged and somebody took it out and didn't put another one in. Now we're going to spray all this down. The float's still working good. That's kind of surprising. You can take this out. You can clean out the float if you want. You can take the main jet out. But I'm willing to bet if I just spray it down, we're going to be okay on this one, because it didn't run with the shitty fuel in there. So it just sat in the bottom. So give that a try. I cheaped out. I reused the old fuel line. Cracked a little bit, but it still slipped on. I'm really not looking to get too much time out of this, so we'll see what happens. Probably should change it, but I'm lazy, so I'm going to clean that out and get some gas in it and maybe flush it out with the ball off. Make sure we get clean fuel coming through. Just put some gas in it with the fuel filter off, capsule, whatever you want to call it. I'll turn it on, make sure we got fuel flowing, which we do. I rinsed it out a little bit, rinsed out the bowl. Now I'm going to put the bowl back on, and actually just the fuel bowl. I'm going to make sure that the float's working and stopping, and flush it out a little bit. Alright, so now put the bowl back on, turn the fuel on. We should start getting fuel flowing. Gotta let it fill up. Yep, we got a nice supply of fuel. Turns off. Yep, that's good. Turn the fuel back off. That's a good sign. I should probably pull that jet out, but I got a feeling it'll be okay. Maybe we'll pull it out. We'll see. Next, we're going to put the bowl back on and give her a pull, see if she starts. Alright, so now with the fuel on, choke on, this one here, it's sticking a little bit. You want to make sure it pulls back down. Put the switch on, choke it. With the fuel on, you want to give it a few seconds to fill with fuel. Okay, she's going. So we get the choke off. That's it. She's running. Oh, you're running her without the choke on. Choked off, running beautifully, throttling. That's all there is to it. That's it. Best thing I can tell you to do to keep this from happening: 1, just don't leave things outside, forget about it. 2, get some stable or run no ethanol fuel, because it really chews them up. You get the stable, you put that in there, you can leave them for 2-3 years and they're not going to come up on you. You're better off getting no ethanol fuel, but it works. Now, next thing you want to do is, if you want, you can change the plug. I'm not going to change it because it's running fine. And probably should change the oil in it, because that may have water in it, which I already checked it earlier. And there was plenty of oil coming up to it, but you may want to change it just in case there's water in there. But it's coming up to the plug, so I'm not going to open that right now. Well, that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. It's pretty quick. I mean, I did that probably about 15-20 minutes, which, you know, that's it. You just got to make sure you clean that carburetor out good. Now, if I started it and you had to keep choking it, you'd have to take out that jet with a flathead screwdriver, which you can look up. You take that jet out and spray it out. But this here is not necessary. But if you had started it earlier and you sucked up a piece of junk in there, you definitely have to clean that jet. But me, I knew this one didn't run because it was gummed up, so I didn't try to start it until I cleaned it properly. That's it. Have a nice day. Enjoy. Have fun with engines.